On this edition of KSOP Cross Country, we welcome back Mircea Divricean. He's president and CEO of the Kostopoulos Dream Foundation, and of course, it's good to see you again.
It's so good to see you and be back in the studios, Dick. Thank you so much for the invitation.
We're always glad to be able to talk about Camp K. I have a feeling that most of our listeners have heard about Camp Kostopoulos, but they may not know the extent of the services and programs and opportunities that are offered by the foundation. So could I get you to kind of capsulize the history and the basic mission of the foundation?
I certainly hope that a lot of people know about Camp K. I do kind of tend to see that whenever I go in the community. However, everybody tends to tell me, oh, I know where you are. I know your place. I bike your place all the time. But then the second I bring them in and give them a tour, they all are amazed and they're like, I had no idea. So I really hope that whoever is listening right now would really like to come up and take a tour of Camp K and see what a jewel, what an amazing oasis of hope and joy and support we have in this community. Just up in Immigration Canyon, 2.5 miles from the bottom of Immigration Canyon, you'll find this beautiful camp named Camp Kostopoulos. The way it all started came together. We had a Greek immigrant in our community here in Utah. In 1929, he immigrated, and his name was Dan Kostopoulos. He was a different man and wanted to make a difference, and what a difference he made. I was reading some old Deseret News recent articles that I kind of ran into in my history folder. And by 1943, just 14 years after immigrating here, he was already helping 900 children with Sub-Fort Santas in our community. Then later on, he started working for the Broadway Theater on 3rd South. He became the owner of the Broadway Theater eventually. And then in the 50s, he started to build relationships with people in wheelchair and people with disabilities. They would come to his theater in groups or by themselves, give them free tickets, concession, soda, pop. And he realized pretty quickly that there's really no opportunities for people that have limited abilities, physical abilities or such, to really enjoy and take advantage of the great outdoors that we have here in Utah. So it really started just as an idea of let's find a place where this children, teenagers, or adults can come together and enjoy some of the same things that we do so freely. So in the 50s, under the umbrella name of Harmony Club of Utah, Camp Kostopoulos came together. In 1965, he passed away, and then in 67, they named it after him. So that's when we became Camp Kostopoulos. And because of that, next year we have our 50th anniversary. The first probably 15, 20 years, maybe even 25 years were years of struggle. However, camp was starting to get built. They built a lodge, dug a fish pond, a couple of cabins. And then the majority of the growth and the boom and explosion of camp happened in the last 15 years, primarily in the last 10 years, and then probably 5 years, really, when Camp K just started to be noticed and be what it is today.
And what has Camp K evolved into today?
We have 25 beautiful acres of property in Immigration Canyon and many, many, many beautiful facilities, all very, very accessible for people of all abilities, from a fish pond to a beautiful picnic area. We're in the process of building a big pavilion that can host groups up to 200, bathrooms down at the picnic area. Then we'll also have, we also have our playground. Then we have our lodge that just recently got remodeled through the generosity of IKEA. We want their life improvement project, and we got furniture donated worth $40,000. So for the first time in 50 years at Camp Kostopoulos, we have matching furniture. We have beautiful furniture and painting for everybody to come and enjoy and feel like they are 10-star. They're worth $1 million. So We appreciate IKEA. We appreciate everybody in the community that voted for us. This is the lower part of Camp K. And then I go up into our, we have 3 yurts on property, and our yurts are kind of like the Mongolian tents that is kind of like a classroom outside a classroom. That's where we do our music and drama and self-expression and all sorts of activities, reading, plays. And it's designed to foster imagination and creativity. And then we have a couple of cabins. Then we move on to the open horse corral. We have a infirmary and a little bunkhouse, couple of cabins, and then we have our shower house, bath house that is connected next to our heated swimming pool. And then we go up the mountain further up, and we find our indoor equestrian center is one of the most beautiful equestrian centers you'll find in the world as it sits. You know, the elevation that it does and the views, breathtaking views that you have all around. Then we have a cabin, and then we go down to the low ropes course, high ropes course, climbing walls. It's the biggest we have here in this valley, zip lines. And then we have sensory trails for horses and all sorts of hiking trails for everybody else. And we're in the process right now to, besides building the pavilions, the bathrooms I mentioned, to build an additional cabin. The cabin is going to be built through the generosity of Salt Lake Home Builders Association, and we're very grateful to that as well.
How long have you been with Camp K?
I've been there a long time, started as a counselor in 1998 during school, during my university. My education is to be a trained banker and a business professional. Then I came back in 1999 and in 2000. Then I graduated. Then I worked for about a year in a bank. And then something was calling me back to Camp K. And in 2001, I came back, and I've been there ever since. So this is close to my 20th summer at Camp Costopolis. It's a lifetime in many ways. And I look back on the perspective of how this impacted and affected me. And I realized that really Camp K, what really is just an ecosystem that is built on the passion and the sacrifices of those that believe in the mission that Dan Costopolis set many years ago to improve the quality of life of people with special needs and disabilities through recreation, education, and growth opportunities. And with having said that, I look at the core people that have been with us for many, many years now, and those are about 4 of them. I got Mike, our COO. I got Natalie, our administrative manager. I got Stacy recently with us, who's been there for a while, and Jamie for a couple of years. And just a handful of people that really are extremely passionate, and they sacrifice their lives and work endless hours to believe in accomplishing an amazing mission, and that is to give hope, build self-esteem, and get people outside their comfort zone, and really inspire them to get out there despite their limited abilities, to use those abilities to the maximum potential and live the best lives that they can, full, meaningful lives. So I think Camp Costopolis is a very unique ecosystem built by those that really believe in it, and then everybody else in the community that comes together to support, to help, to dedicate, and really, really make a difference. The world, as probably we all noticed recently, is becoming a very selfish world. And in such a world, how do you make a difference? And, maybe neighbors don't even want to know who their neighbor is anymore. Maybe, even in Utah, where we think that we have an amazing community, we start to feel that a little bit. How do we make a difference? And the only way you do that is by choosing, somebody in your life that you want to make a difference to, or somebody that you don't know. And, what is success? I don't think money makes people happy. Maybe job success is temporarily. Maybe you're on 9th cloud today, and then tomorrow you're down the pits. But I think success really comes from the joy of helping others, giving to other people, and freely, and making a difference, and seeing a smile, seeing a joy, getting a thank you from somebody that you probably don't know. and to tell you that I appreciate what you've done here for me today. Before coming here, maybe I was depressed. Maybe I had all sorts of anxiety issues. Maybe I did not see any light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe I had suicidal thoughts. We have some of the campers that come with those things to us. And they come to camp where they feel accepted, they feel included, they feel like they matter to us, they feel like, they're important to our existence. And then they walk away with confidence and hope. And we really hope that when they go back to their communities, they get embraced so they can have an enjoyment and a good life. So that's what I think Camp K is.
What are some of the activities, programs, and opportunities offered there?
We have summer programs, residential camps, 100 hours of service, overnight stays, Monday through Friday, trip camps. We go to Moab, we go to Bear Lake, we go to Zion, we go to Park City Valley, to here in Salt Lake Valley. We do all sorts of amazing opportunities for our students and participants. Then we have our day camps for working parents. And then we have partner camps because we believe in inclusion. We want to bring children that don't have disabilities at a young age to play and interact in the same environment with people with disabilities. Because what are we usually, we believe at Camp K that we're usually afraid of things that we don't know. Once we know, you usually are not afraid anymore. So too many, if you haven't been around or interacted with somebody that has a disability and in your 20s already, you're going to be afraid, and not necessarily because, you think that they're different, but because you don't want to probably offend them. You just don't know how to interact with them. But if you interact with people with special needs at a young age and you grow up, interacting with them, you're not going to know any different. And then when those children become our next leaders of tomorrow, they're going to be more likely to include those individuals and their businesses and their lives and everything. So that was the purpose of the partner camps, and that's a new program for us.
And what organizations do you partner with?
That's a great question. So this year we served about 300 people in the partner camps, and we partnered with our neighbors. We partnered with Natural History Museum of Utah. We partnered with Red Butte Gardens, University of Utah Youth Education, Club U, Bad Dog Arts. We also partnered with the zoo, This Is the Place, a few other places. Last year we had some other partners. This year we also added Tracy Aviary, and they're looking forward to partner with us again. And the programs are different each time. You're focusing on a certain, initiative. And it really just makes a world of a difference. This year we did an ultimate camp experience in our partner camp, where a child that got enrolled had the opportunity to spend one day at Camp K, one day at Hogle Zoo, one day at This Is the Place, one day at the Natural History Museum of Utah, and one day at Red Butte Gardens. So that is really unique. You do it all in 1 week.
And that gives them a broader sense of our community, too, at the same time.
It absolutely does. And then you go into all of those are summer programs for us. How Camp K is a charity, how Camp K makes a difference, besides the amazing program experience we give, is also through the money that we charge and the scholarships we provide. It costs us, so Monday through Friday overnight stay, 100 hours of service. It costs us about $1,300, and we provide the service to our constituents for $500. So for $5 an hour, you cannot find a babysitter just to come to your house for $5 an hour. You get all the amazing services at Camp K, food, supervision with nurses on site, and then cooks and lifeguards and training and trained staff and so on and so forth for $5 an hour. And in many, many cases, I think we had over 100 this year, we scholarshiped those individuals down to $100 for the whole week, so that's $1 an hour. For $1 an hour, they experience the amazing things that Camp K has to offer. That doesn't happen that often anymore in anywhere. So that's where we're proud of, and the sacrifice and the dedication that we do. We work tirelessly on funding and scholarships and grant writing, and that's where we would love the community to come and embrace Camp K so we can remodel some of the older facilities and really make this children when they come to camp feel like $1 million. We really want them to feel like they're on top of the world and they're so important, and all of that is there for them.
And our listeners can find out more about the programs and facilities, as well as how they can help out with donations and volunteering by going to your website. So remind us of that address.
campk.org, just very simple, CAMPK, just campk.org. You're going to find a lot of information about Camp K and pictures, and you can also follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We're very active.
And we thank Mircea Divricean from Camp K for joining us on KSOP Cross Country. I'm Dick Jacobson. The program is a public service of KSOP Incorporated.